Guys, welcome to my review of the TINGKER acoustics. As some of you might or might not know, but this is a subsidiary, a sister company under the umbrella of the AudioSense main company, let's put it that way. And yeah, I've really tested a few products of theirs before, and I quite like them. The TK300 1+2 hybrid, that was a pretty interesting set. I liked it, I enjoyed it. But this time what I have for you is the H16. It's the latest all hybrid set, 8 BAs per side. Simple, very simple package, but nonetheless nice tips, and these tips are actually pretty good. Before I used to be more into the 07 tip. I used to use these green stem tips from AudioSense on quite a few of my IEMs because they work really well. So tips are good, brings decent enough cable. I mean, yeah, it's fine. QDC style connection, which is a departure from the MMCX that usually TINGKER and AudioSense like implementing. Okay, that's out of the way there. And on to the IEMs themselves. The IEMs is again, the H16s are again a departure from the usual shape. Most of the TINGKER lineup is always, well, most, not all of the TINGKER lineup has been up to now that kind of bullet style, cylindrical, tin hi-fi style of shape. And this is not. This has a more traditional shape to it. And well, with that comes an improvement in the fit, and particularly I love the fit. Like the way that it isolates after it's fitting properly in my ears. And as you can see, I'm using the KBR 07 tips. The cable is an XINHS 4.4. Why am I using the 07 instead of the factory tips if they are so good as I've just mentioned? Well, because this tip actually goes and extracts a little bit of extra upper mids and presence over the stock one. It's very slight, but it's just a little bit extra, and it's welcomed. And why is it welcomed? Well, before I carry on with talking about the sound, I've got here the DT600, which is our known by many, and the T800. Those that follow me know that I'm a big fan of AudioSense. I like their products. Honestly, there hasn't been one product that I didn't enjoy, and I didn't really see it for what it was. And they've always had their own style of tuning and so on and so forth. And the DT600 and the T800 are two of those examples. This nice, super detailed, more laid back, with a sub bass focus, using the impedance adapter, mind you. Using the impedance adapter in stock. Without the impedance adapter, I have to say that I don't really think the sound is what it should be. Okay, but with the adapter, beautiful sub bass focus, almost flat from 100 and so hertz onwards up to about 1K. It's almost flat. Pin again has a peak at around 2ish, then stays more or less flat, and it's very nice sounding, very nice, super detailed. And yeah, it's a fantastic set. I just compared it. Well, I had it in another review that I just did recently with the Allure, and amazing set. Really nothing to say against it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the T800, and this is kind of like Beauty and the Beast. This thing is an animal. Period. You give it power, and it will pound you into the ground, and it will do it with this clean, impactful bass that sometimes you even question yourself, is this really just BA bass here? Particularly myself, with the music I listen to, and you guys know my playlist, and I'll post it as usual. If you give it a source like the M15, which makes a perfect match, it is unbelievable. It really has that capability of hitting you hard, clean. Mids are amazing. If there is any fault or anything that you can put against it is some people complained about it being too splashy in the highs, too intense, and so on and so forth. Well, I can only speak for what my T800 is like. And my T800, not only did it graph nicely, it actually graphed like it had less treble than the DT600, but no, it actually has about the same treble, and it's a nice, clean, detailed treble. It doesn't offend me, doesn't want to try and kill me. No, it's nice. It's really a nicely done set with good technicalities, great soundstage, imaging. Honestly, very little or nothing to falter. It's already an older IEM. It's been an IEM that's been around for a while, and like I said, it's been loved by some, hated by others. But overall, I think it's a great set, and it will stay with me. It will definitely stay with me. Actually, if I could get my hands on another one, I would definitely buy it. This is going to stay with me. So where does the H16 position itself? Well, this is going to be a really simple review. This is an H16. The H16 is a T800 with the past 5K area brought down. It's basically that. It's got almost the same identical bass curve, the same pinna gain, the same progression between 1 and 5K as the T800. Very similar, very, very similar. But then it reaches about that 5-6K area and it just drops off. And is that good? Is that bad? Well, it is good if you are not a treble head, and if you want an all BA set that can pound you, because this can do just as well as the T800, then this is your money is here. It's on this. Fair enough. It's $240 give or take, $250 in some stores. It's big money. It's big money. You have a lot of competition, but if that's your flavor, then yes, definitely. If on the other hand your flavor is a more balanced out sound with very good, all the twinklies and air and all that, no, then I'm sorry to say this is not for you. Move along. Get a DT600 then. As compared with the DT600, it doesn't have the ultimate sub bass of the DT600, but also let's remember that the DT600 is focused on the sub bass and then doesn't have any mid bass, while this has got loads of mid bass. It really can slam. So if you enjoy EDM and you enjoy high impact music, this thing is gonna just destroy the DT600. The mids maintain themselves, like I said, nicely composed. Occasionally I do get a little bit sense of sibilance, because there's a slight rise between between the 2K roughly, where just over 2K where it does its peak of pinna, and then the 5K, the 5.5, 6K when it starts dropping off. There's a gradual rise, and sometimes you can get a little bit of sibilance from this, but then it just loses that air which the DT600 and the T800 have loads of. So yeah, it's a nice earphone. I'm not gonna say it's not a good earphone. It's a good earphone. It's a nice earphone. I enjoyed listening to it, and I also have been listening to it because I've already had it for a while, and I've also been listening to it and comparing it to other IEMs that I have. But yeah, the only thing that I really do miss is a little bit extra energy, past the 5-6K area. Just a little bit. They could have done like an in-between. Okay, they could have done maybe an in-between the T800 and this. Somewhere in between, I think, would have been the ideal and would probably suit more people. As it stands, it's going to be very focused for a very restricted group of people that want a more darkish kind of a V signature. It's clean, it's detailed, mind you. It's not a dark V with, no. It's a dark V, but it's clean, it's detailed, it's punchy, it's got quality bass, quality mids. It just lacks that extra little, like I said, twinklies and sparkles and so on and so forth. And with that, obviously, comes things as the detailed retrieval not being the ideal, at least for me. Imaging, the same thing. Some stages a little bit compressed, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little take of mine on the H16. Yeah, let's see what comes out of this. If they really do maybe do a slight adjustment, because it's deserving of it. Honestly, it is. All right then. Take care. Bye bye.